just slightly overdue. I fished a tournament with Washington Tiny Boat Nation, Lake Kapowsin, where I want to say it was the roughest fishing I ever did. That's a lie. The last two tournaments were the roughest fishing I ever did. I didn't give a tournament review for the first two tournaments that I fished because, well, I didn't catch anything remarkable. And while I tried some stuff for monster bass and some traditional methods, I didn't have much luck. Of course, these are lakes like Lake Godwin that I've never fished before, and then Lake Stevens, which I have previously fished, where either the water was too cold, we had the wrong presentation, we were going the wrong speed, we were fishing the wrong spots, and we had a lot of learning experiences, me and the buddy I was fishing with. But I want to say this last tournament was good. For one, it was way warmer. It warmed up in the afternoon to be about 60 or 70 degrees. And what was good about this tournament was it was my first tournament ever fishing solo. I fished it in my lifetime kayak, which I'm sure you guys have seen before. The Manta, which I got rigged up with the Humminbird side scanning sonar, and then I had my Newport on it. Normally you guys see me fish with my Newport 36-pound thrust NV, and I don't go with the kayak, I go with the regular, and I only go with the regular because I can put it on all my boats. I put it on my canoe, I put it on my John boat, any boat that I've had that has a trolling motor, I put my Newport NVs on. This one, however, last year I got a 55-pound thrust, and this year I fished this tournament, first ever solo tournament, first tournament ever in a kayak with the 55-pound thrust trolling motor. I was worried about wind that day, so I kind of wanted that extra power on the kayak, though normally I go with the 36. I was worried about battery life, so of course I had my Newport, my regular lithium, and then I had an extra Newport lithium. So altogether, I had 100 amp hours of power. I didn't even go through the first 50. Lake Kapowsin is a very stumpy lake. Everywhere you go, there's stumps. Even in 25 feet of water, it's a submerged ancient forest. So it was really cool, really excellent fishery, but I didn't go over 2 miles an hour with the trolling motor on that lake. I did see a lot of bedding bass. And like even in 25 feet of water, a submerged stump, maybe a foot under the water, had bedding bass straight on it. Really cool lake, really excellent fishery. So I did catch some bass that day. However, none of them were measurable by the club standards. They have to be over 12 inches to be even weighed in or considered. But I did catch some bass. I was throwing wacky rigs. I was throwing some topwater. I was throwing some suspended jerkbaits, and I didn't have much luck until about the last 2 hours of the tournament when I went with something that I heard from my buddy, which was stop messing around, hit the shore hard, hit every piece of structure. So I ran down the shore, and I was running as hard as I could. So like, I don't know, about the wind speed, 1 or 2 miles an hour. And just everywhere I went, I saw some lily pads, bam, I hit it. Hit it with the wacky worm, hit it with the Ned rig. And I just went down the shore, old pylons for an old dock, bam, hit that. And I was catching fish, but I was catching maybe like 10, 11 inchers that, you know, they were there. And it is a fun fight to catch any bass. Like any fish in my life, it is fun to catch fish. And that's part of the reason I do tournaments, even if I don't catch anything, is it's so much fun to go out there and try. But I did catch some fish, and I'm sure you've seen pictures on my Instagram, and if you haven't seen pictures, I might just attach some to the videos. But just going down the shore, I don't even have the fish finder. In some of these places, I'm so shallow with the kayak that I had to pull the trolling motor up because it was scraping or dragging. And I was just hitting every piece, and, you know, I'd feel that bite, and they'd take off with it. And it was just, it was a blast even catching those little fish, so. As you can see here, it still has its tournament tag that's required by Washington State. You have the green tournament or contest label on there. But of course, I got the Newport motor out, Newport logo out for Newport motor vessels. And then you see I got the 55. This is one I actually got last year. And you can tell that it has a little bit of battle damage from excursions, but the paint's still on the bottom, which isn't like my 36 where I've hit some rocks and stuff like that. You can see it's still in working shape. Excellent trolling motor. And like my 36 I've had for about 3 years, so I expect this one to last me a lifetime. It's a lot of power. It's great value for what you pay compared to some of the competitors. You can put it on the bow, you can put it on the aft transom. It doesn't matter where you put it. It's an excellent trolling motor to have and an excellent amount of power to have for when you're trying to troll or when you're trying to use it as main propulsion. You can kind of see here I got my battery. These are nice because you can Bluetooth to them and you can see what amount of power you got. But this one's nice. I've had this one for about 2 years now. This one still holds a lot of power, still holds a lot of juice. And then I got my other one in the battery box. I don't know if you guys have ever used the battery box, but the battery box is nice because it has a USB plug and then it has another 12-volt plug. So last year what I did with my Garmin was I put the power to my Garmin on a 12 volt, like a car battery plug. So I could just plug my Garmin fish finder straight into it without having to have any extra power or plug it into the battery, put it on the terminals, a lot of that extra work. And I'm looking to do that this year with my Humminbird. But long story short, I fished this tournament. I didn't catch many fish, but having my Newport gear on board definitely main advantage. I hit stumps, I hit rocks, I drug the bottom, but I still had power. And with those 2 lithium batteries, bulletproof. I still had power the entire day. I made it through the entire lake. Probably toured about 4 or 5 miles worth of shore and worth of water, trying to work my way through logs and stumps and everything. But I still had power. The trolling motor still works. It didn't get bent. Sure, it chipped some paint and scraped a little bit, but it didn't get damaged and it didn't fail me. Thank you guys for watching.